Hello guys, welcome back to the channel. In this video I would like to show you guys how to run your life in Farming Simulator 18. So to begin with, you can sell the majority of the crops that you have in the silo. The next step would be buying a loading wagon. Here I was just trying to see if I can attach the wagon to the trailer, but it's not possible as it is in FS23. And the reason I'm making this video is because not all of us can afford to buy the FS20 or FS23. Here, the game gives us some information on how to use a loading wagon. Here, you can see I'm about to collect straw, and I will also show you how to collect grass later on in the video. The collected straw can be used to produce manure. In FS20 and 23, I believe that you have to provide straw to the animals, for example horses or cows, so that it could be a suitable environment for them to stay in. In order to be time efficient and effective, you can hire multiple workers to help you on the farm. One thing that I forgot to mention is that since we only have limited choice of crops to produce in FS18, straw can only be produced from wheat. Once again, as you can see, I'm hiring a worker to supply the straw. Moving forward, I'm going to buy a mower, which is going to help us to cut the grass. It's a fun game, you know. You just have to enjoy it with time. But if you want better gameplay and better graphics, you can always go and buy either FS20 or FS23. Now that we have cut the grass, we will need a windrower to put the grass in rows so it's easy for our loading wagon to collect it. But at the moment we are short on our finances to buy a windrower, so we'll have to make some money before we do that. It's time for our harvested wheat to be stored in a silo. As you can see here again, I'm going to sell the sunflowers so that we can make some extra money. It's good to check on your workers that you have hired, because sometimes they can go off the path, and basically they'll be wasting money that you're working so hard for. And the game is always trying to help us by giving us additional objectives, which gives us bonus money, you know. Since I already had a trailer connected to the tractor, once again I tried to connect two trailers at the same time, but as you can see it did not work. But the newer versions of the game, they can allow to connect two or more trailers to be attached to the same tractor. And here we are finishing off planting the seed. In the meantime, our other field is ready to be harvested. You can see that additional task that we did gave us just about $13,000. And of course, you can work in the same field as a worker, but you just have to make sure that you're not in the way. Cultivating, planting, and harvesting are basics of the game. You just have to explore the game to, find ways to make more money. Now that we have enough money, we can buy a smaller windrower that is going to help us put our grass in rows. Here is a demonstration on how to work with a windrower. Once again, it's an easy game. You just have to get a hang of things. I've been playing this game for a while, so I know a few things about the game. Now that we have finished putting our grass in rows, we can grab our loading wagon and start collecting the grass. If you continue to watch the video, later on I'll also show how to make bales from hay and as well as from straw. Since we do not have enough grass, we have to share half of what we have collected with cows and half with the sheep. Feeding grass to the cows will help producing milk, and straw will help with producing manure. Feeding grass to the sheep will help you produce wool, which you can sell at a higher price. And same goes with the milk. So basically in the game you have to do animal farming instead of crop farming, because animal farming will make you a lot of money. In the beginning of the video, when I said you can sell majority of the crops, try not to sell corn and canola, as they will help you reproduce pigs that you already have in the shelter, or a pig shed as it says in the game. You can see here, as we fed grass to cows and sheep, they have already started producing milk and wool. Purchasing a tedder will help you make hay bales from grass, which will maximize the production of milk from cows and wool from sheep. The game gives us 5 of each animals: cows, sheep, and pigs. The pigs have the fastest reproduction rate in the game, followed by sheep and then cows. As I mentioned earlier in the video, the game blesses us with additional tasks which earn us bonus money. Here, we almost made $20,000. I bought this header so that we can harvest corn and sunflowers. corn is going to help us with reproduction of pigs. Well, when combined with canola, it's gonna maximize the reproduction. Here you can see we only have 42% of the tank, and we made about $20,000 from milk itself. It's time to buy a fertilizer. Fertilizer is going to help us with crops growing faster and more in the same field. I'm just demonstrating how to use a fertilizer here. You can always hire a worker, or you can decide to do it yourself. It's your choice. The only problem with this fertilizer is it is kind of expensive to refill. There are two more alternate ways to fertilize a field. One is manure and the other is slurry. Another tip for the game is that you can always hire a worker even though there is no equipment attached to the tractor. All you have to do is click on the steering wheel icon on the right side, on the bottom, and it allows you to click on the map anywhere you decide for the worker to go. Whenever you decide to buy a new tractor, you have to make sure the reason you're buying the tractor for. As here, I bought this New Holland with the front loader to work in the field since I saw it has higher horsepower than the small Massey Ferguson with the front loader. But the problem is the tractors with the front loader, they're not really as fast as the tractors without front loaders working in the field. To maximize the production of your animals, be it either milk, wool, or straw, you have to make sure you're providing them with both the requirements. As for pigs, you have to provide canola and corn. And with cows and sheep, you have to provide grass and hay bales. And you have to make sure that when you turn grass into hay, you're making bales of that hay, because collecting hay with loading wagon is not gonna do it. And of course we are gonna upgrade our equipments since we are gonna buy more fields in the future. As I mentioned earlier, while buying a new tractor, try not to buy a tractor with front loader if you are going to use that tractor to work in the fields to cultivate or plant the seed. Again, I'm buying a new planter and I'm selling my older one since we don't need it and we'll get some money out of it. And I'm gonna sell my tractor with the front loader and buy a Zeder because it's worth the money. Here, if you notice, every time I honk, the cars give way. So that was the plus point of FS18, but we don't have the horn option in FS20 or FS23. Once again, the trailer is not 100%. We have 64% of wool on this trailer, and it's gonna give us about $36,000 or $37,000, which is a lot, and which is easy money again because we are focused on animal farming. Now I'm deciding to buy a baler. Since we have two options, one is kind of cheaper and one is a bit more money. But the trailers to collect the bales are expensive, so we have to go with the cheaper options, which is a round bale maker and the forks, and then a trailer that we can store the round bales on. A baler works same as a loading wagon. The only difference is you have to stop every now and then whenever the baler is offloading a bale. Loading the bales is easy. All you have to do is click on the function button and it will drop the front loader. And if you click on it again, it is gonna raise the front loader, and all you gotta do is bring the bale over the trailer and it will load automatically. If there's anything else you guys would like to know about FS18, you can always leave a comment in the comment section and I'll try to make a video on it. Earlier when I was talking about fertilizer options, I'm going to show you guys how to use manure as a fertilizer later in the video. You can always try to plant different crops to make it more fun. If you notice here, whatever the extra bales that could not be stored in the pig shed were sold automatically, and we made about $10,000 off the two bales. And now I'm going to show you guys how to make hay bales. First, you have to convert grass into hay using a tedder. Use the same as we do with the grass. We are going to use a windrower to make straight rows of hay. While I hired a worker to do that, I'm checking on my other tractors and also pick up this baler that we bought earlier. Now you can see how I was talking about it's similar process as a loading wagon, but the only difference is every now and then you have to stop for the baler to offload the bale. Loading a trailer with bales is easy as it can be. Again, it's going to be the same thing if our bales or more than that we can store are gonna be sold automatically. Now this part is going to be time skipped. As you can see, I have enough money to buy fertilizer to spread manure, and I have this big harvester that I bought. And now it's time to test our new fertilizer. Let's see how it goes. It seems to be quite wide, and it's gonna help us to save time actually. And also save money at the same time, since we are using manure produced from cows and pigs. If you guys enjoyed this video, please leave a like and maybe comment if there's something I need to do better, and also subscribe if you want to see more videos like this. Thank you.